Me Grimlock not podcaster, me Grimlock king.
Welcome to The Pull Bag. Join us as we dig out our latest comics and discuss them with a rotating panel of the GCRN crew. So sit back and enjoy this week's Pull Bag.
Attention Autobots and Decepticons. The Transformers Botcon convention is at the Duke Energy Center this weekend only. Meet the voices of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Sari. See thousands of Transformers toys for sale and on display. Meet the creators of Transformers from Hasbro. Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. First 100 kids Saturday receive a free Transformers figure. For more info, visit botcon.com.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Hello and welcome to The Pull Bag. This is a giant-sized episode. This is our first episode that I'm...
Was that a fat joke?
No.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Are you kidding me? I'm 6'1" and 405 pounds. I can make fat jokes if I want to make fat jokes.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I'm not fat, I'm pregnant.
Oh! The entire world now knows LadyWreck of the Underbase is pregnant.
She announced it yesterday.
I announced it yesterday. It's not a biggie.
I must have missed that.
I mean, it is going to be big eventually. We're rolling them out today, aren't we?
Okay, so as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
Oh, trust me. I'll do it again. See?
It can get worse.
Oh, I'm sure it can. Basically, this is coming off of something like Giant Size X-Men #1, something like that, where I'm going to take 2 episodes of the Pull Bag and I'm going to mash them together and make one giant episode. So it's like Super Podcast Smash Brothers. And this is episode 84 and 85. It is all about 2 of the Botcon comics. The first one is from the 2008 convention, Transformers Timelines #3, Shattered Glass. In my personal opinion, out of all the Botcon stuff I've seen since I've been back in the Transformers fandom, I got back into it about 2006 or so. I got really heavy into it around 2008, though. 2006, the convention was actually here in Lexington, Kentucky, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live. And I'm like, ooh, I would love to go to that. $400 price. No.
Yeah, a little expensive.
Yeah. It's like a little bit too much money for me.
Even if you're a mini-con, you're still, less than worthy. If you don't put out the 400, you're...
Yeah, pretty much. And I didn't really pay too much attention to the 2006-2007 comic. I know 2006 was Dawn of Futures Past with Beast Wars, I believe. I know 2007, I think, was Games of Deception, was the classic stuff.
Yeah.
But 2008, when they announced it was going to be Shattered Glass, and, we get this, classics repaint of, a repaint of Classics Optimus as, a wholly purple Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. I'm like, shut up and take my money now. It's just one of those things. And I am all for alternate timelines and alternate dimension stories and that kind of thing. And Shattered Glass just flipping the whole thing, making the Autobots evil, making the Decepticons good, that just appeals to me on so many levels. Because it's something refreshing that we hadn't really had in, at that point, the 25-year history.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good one-liners out of here, too. I mean, that's definitely... the only thing that I'm kind of sad about is that we haven't revisited since then, because it says to be continued on here.
Yeah.
It says not the end.
It has
Unless
continued.
they finished it somewhere else in just like their regular... Did they ever do that, Nicole?
You're forgetting. Basically, they wrote this... And the next movie came out because basically Shattered Glass Optimus is movie Optimus. He's a killer.
He's a killer, yeah. Bum. No, I'm not really up to date on all my Botcon magazine, stuff. So I have no idea if they actually finished it or not. I kind of hope that they did, but because I really liked this one. It is one of the stronger pieces, especially since Pete Sinclair is the one that wrote it. Oh, wait, actually, I take that back. Pete Sinclair and Benson Yee is probably one of their strongest ones they've done, and And it's like, oh, I'd kind of like to see what happens to Cliffjumper. But yeah, that's just usually not the case with Botcon Comics. You just kind of get what you think you want, and then you kind of realize that you don't want it. And you're like, hey, this one in 2011 were the strongest ones that they had.
Yeah, they really, really are, because the one where they did Shattered Glass again, I didn't even pay attention to that comic because it was the
they did
classics.
It again?
Well, it was it 2010, 2012?
I'll have
I
to
forget.
check it out.
There was one where it was Classics Universe versus Shattered Glass.
Oh, that's right.
And they had that...
Which made no sense.
Made absolutely no damn sense. But, you know, for this one, I think one of the biggest appeals of this is all of the different and out of... It makes sense, but all of the different and out-of-this-world designs, like, okay, sure, you know, paint Optimus purple, he's going to be evil, we get it. But, like, I was really surprised to see what Goldbug was like. And all as it flashes to me in my head is, I'm not just a Bumblebee anymore, I'm a Goldbug, you know, from Rebirth. And it's just one of those things where the differences in the characters in this, you know, seeing Grimlock be evil, seeing Megatron and Starscream of all bots to be good. I mean, that was just one of the things that it was so amazing to me.
Starscream's always good in my heart.
God.
I believe in Starscream.
Yeah, it was.
Look over there in the corner, people. That's the fangirl section.
Yeah. I have to say I do like my Starscream kind of evil and twisted, like in Windblade.
Oh, yes. I can't say anything because you guys haven't read it.
What?
Punishment. I can't say anything.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, because you got lucky. You're the one that has one of the.
Oh my gosh.
The
because
Windows 8.
Like, it takes off right after Windblade ends, and you're just like, I gotta bite my tongue so I don't spoil it for anyone.
Well, that's all right.
Out there.
None of the listeners have read it either, so you're the
I know.
one of the lucky few that has Windows 8 that can get it for free.
If anyone has read it, please contact me. I need to talk to someone. I'm actually taking it over to Heather's place tomorrow, so I can actually talk to someone about it.
Wow. You mean for the first hour you'll be sitting there squirming in your seat as she reads it?
Oh yeah, I'll be like, oh, guess what's gonna happen here? Oh!
And then you'll see her reactions firsthand. It'll be great.
I can tell you right now. I know this is a little sidetrack, but that's kind of ruined comic book reading for me because I want to hear those explosions. I want to hear the fire crackling and guns going off. And so
cool. Made fire! You've spoiled us all.
So we get into this one, and there's a portal that opens up, and our universe, Cliffjumper, gets pulled through it.
Yay! I have to say, I haven't.
Maybe likes to see Cliffjumper in pain.
No, I really like Cliffjumper. After what they put, how they built him up as being a sniper in the IDW universe, I've loved that little guy since then. I thought I gave him perfect personality. He's the angry bot that has a gun. You just don't want to be next to him. He's gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
No, you want to be next to him because then you know where he's at.
True, but you don't want him taking out his rage upon you.
That'd be true. That's true.
But yes, the poor little guy gets sucked into a portal and into this universe, has no idea what he's got himself into.
No clue whatsoever. We've got, let's see here. We've got Cliffjumper running into, who is that, Huffer?
I have no idea.
Second page, let me get there.
Yeah. I figured that since he spends so little time on this comic that it really didn't matter who he was.
Yeah, he kind of, not to poke one of our other friends, Mariah Baby, not to poke her obsession with Breakdown. His face kind of looks like Breakdown, but I know it's not Breakdown.
He kind of almost looks like TFCon's Erector. What was his name? Shaft.
Yeah,
It
I
kind
can
of looks
see
like
that.
that toy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is Cliff Jumper basically coming to, and some weird Decepticon dude is. It can't be you. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I'll just let me go and I'll.
He gets destroyed.
Yeah,
It's like, whoa! What a
pretty much.
explosive way to start this off, you know? The first page is just one big panel of Cliffjumper falling into this world, and then the next one, somebody's getting offed. It's like, whoa! Yeah.
I love the expressions that they're using on Cliffjumper too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's Dawn. Dawn is this is Dawn, classic Dawn. You know, that's why I think I really liked it a lot. Is because the art is just beautiful. It's Dawn Figueroa.
The art is amazing. And then we get the baddest bot of them all. Well, what do you know? Old Ops said there was a strange energy buildup down here. I didn't think it'd find anything like you, though. Yeah, I love this.
Shattered glass Rodimus.
I love this.
So, quick question. Everyone has different color schemes. So does they recognize Cliffjumper. So does he have the same color scheme in this world as he does
it's slightly different, because they do make mention that, you look a little different, but
that's true.
You know,
that's true.
Still the guy, right? He sounds like him. He walks and talks like, CJ. Maybe he is.
They just don't know it's his identical cousin that's living with them. Patty Duke reference, people. That's how old it is. Okay.
No, when they announced this set, I went and, outside of Proto Man, I believe I am the one fan that is, really diehard Rodimus. Because everyone else I know either doesn't like him or, why'd they have to kill Optimus to make him the leader and blah, 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 whatever. I actually remember when this all came out, it was after Botcon. I was able to, at the time, snag one off eBay for this toy.
Sweet.
And as soon as I did that, I actually have pictures. I'll put it in the post for this episode. As soon as I did that, I found Callie Karishoka and her Puggle Formers, and
nice.
I'm like, well, if you want me to interview you or whatever else, I'm going to need to see one of these things up close and personal, so is it okay if I get a review sample? And she's like, sure, what would you like? And I'm like, and it's the one
So what a way to spin it. What a way to spin it like, really?
I know, right?
You manipulated yourself into a free Puggle. Woohoo!
Yes. So, I had the toy, I just read the comic, and I was like, yeah, Shattered Glass Rodimus. And then, 2 or 3 years later...
2 or 3 years, yeah.
No. 2 or 3 years later, she made LOL cannons for Lockdown, I think. She made a little accessory for one of the Lockdown Puggles, and I'm like, ooh, Roddy needs oh my god cannons. I paid her $5 for this little accessory that he can put around it, and oh my god, this is so hilarious. But what was so great about this at the time, back in 2008, was once I had the comic and I had the toy, I actually have pictures of the toy with the Puggle in both robot mode and alt mode. So yeah, Rodimus shows up, and favorite line from Cliffjumper, and what's with your face? You like? I added a cycle back. Makes me look distinguished, me distinguished. It's a laugh, right? Man, I want more from this. They need to do so much more with this comic. I know they won't, but damn it, they do.
They did do a brilliant job, I'd have to say. They just flipping things like that. It just seemed to work. I mean, I just read this again this morning. I went, man, the one-liners that are coming out of this are just brilliant. The only problem is that there's a 2-page exposition that's a little blah. Other than that, I mean, if they could just cut that down and make it less wordy, I think it would totally hit it good.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, I don't picture Rodimus' attitude being any different than in Armor. He's just got a mustache.
It's just got a little less hesitation, let's just say that. He's all in it for the guns, right?
He does have, I do like his color scheme.
Ops!
Yeah,
do what Bob says, man.
yeah,
Who's the ringleader?
that black and purple is so well done.
Oh yeah.
And then they
Totally
did.
agree.
Oh my god, I will never forget this. I so wanted this toy at the time, but I could never get it. They did I think it was an eHobby, animated. When animated Rodimus got released and they did all those repaints of him,
Yep.
one of the repaints was a shattered glass repaint of him. And oh my god, that toy was amazing.
I remember seeing pictures of that and going, oh, that is pretty cool.
Yep. So we get, Optimus is going to meet up with Cliffjumper, and he assumes it's his old comrade and everything
Yeah, because
else.
they haven't seen him for like 3 years or something like that. Where he just
Yeah.
disappeared. They had no idea what happened to him. So they just assumed that he was dead. But, oh, look, it's my little buddy. The
Yep.
sniper guy. Yeah, I need you.
What up?
And
I need another thug.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And we walk down the Hall of Shame where all these tortured bots are in their cells. And is it just me, and I'm only doing this because Nicole's here? The one that's right by Optimus's hand, it kind of looks like Cyclonus.
It isn't, because Cyclonus is in here.
Yeah, I was
So
going
you
to
can't
say.
play that.
Exactly. He's later on in the comics, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But come on, I would like to
his
see
twin
this
brother.
as a museum. I would like to see this as a museum. Yeah, twin brother.
No.
Only if you're going to have a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime give you the tour.
I think this would be so cool, though. That's me in my demented world.
Yeah,
again, though.
we just need to get James involved in this,
Oh, Lord. No.
The next time we see the DJD, we need a Hall of Shame.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
are you
that'd be
kidding me?
so cool. No, but
Even
then
more
Tarn
twisted
as your
than
tour guide.
what we've already
Tarn
seen.
needs to be the tour guide, though. Tarn needs to be the tour guide.
As long as he's humming a tune.
Wow. So we get to the smelting pool. And now that I look at this a little bit more as we're talking about it, all I can think of is, spare me this mockery of justice.
Exactly. It's their own version of it.
Yeah.
This is why it works so well, is because it's very
Yeah.
Transformers.
It's
There's
so
so many
good.
little nods to like the stuff that's come before, and that's the reason why it works. And it's not even trying really hard to be that, but it is kind of doing that. And unconsciously, it really is. I mean, even the bots hanging from the top, hanging down, and like all of the pieces that you're seeing is like, all are dead. I mean, come on, little homages just left and right, and that's why I really like this issue. It's why it really works.
I know there's a ton of things, if I ever got a chance to interview Peter Cullen, I know there's a ton of things I could ask him for promos for, but I really want his dark, sinister Optimus to say, till all are gone. Because switching that from till all are one, till all are gone, that was, again, like you said, Amy, this is one of the things that made this theme so well done. They basically took everything we know, flipped it on its head, and
Called it Shattered Glass. There you go.
yeah.
You don't know.
There you go.
Michael Bay still has 2 more movies with Peter Cullen.
Oh, no.
And we got
don't
Murderous
remind-
Prime
Eh.
with Bay.
Oh,
So you
Lord.
never
Now
know.
they've just justified his actions is all they've done.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
one out of all the things to justify. That was it.
Yeah. I really wanted somewhere a certain Dinobot to turn around and say, "What, did you call my name? What the slag is going on here?" And apparently in this continuity, Rumble is red. Boo.
Aw, poor Rumble.
And again, it's what's interesting about this comic is, like we said, it's the personalities that, okay, sure, Rodimus isn't that different, but Optimus is a complete 180 from what we know. And seeing Rumble,
I love the face palm. Oh, of course. What do you mean?
yeah.
I
Like,
love
he's
that
doing
part.
the joking, and he's like, he's so psychopath. It's so funny. But the thing is that later on, when you hear him and Megatron going at it, it's like their lines are like, it's so totally them, but it's like the flip of them.
Yep.
No, this is pretty genius, I gotta admit.
I mean, Mr. Yi must have just been channeling his inner Transformers really, really well when he wrote this, because I don't think he's had this well of a written story since. Because this one just really worked for me. I thought, wow, is it the same writer? Wow, it's Ben?
Yeah.
Really? This is cool. It's like, wow.
So Cliffjumper doesn't, because Cliffjumper is so confused. He doesn't know where he is, doesn't know how he got from Earth to Cybertron. He assumes it's his Cybertron, which it isn't.
Yeah, if you had any doubt, at the point that you see the smelting pool,
Yeah.
he totally flips his lid. I would be like, what is going on here? And that's what he does. He's like, what the slag is going on here?
That's what he does, and he pays for it with his life. I want to see this story animated. I really do. This looks so awesome.
It's like, hey, what am I thinking? I'll let you off this guy. And then he's like, no, I can't do that. And it says, oh, so unwise. Turns around and blows him away. It was like, whoa.
Of course, I just got movie Megatron in my voice when he said that. I'm like, wait.
Oh, so unwise.
So unwise. I'm like, rock on.
You know when that line is used, something bad's about to happen. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, so unwise.
I know. I that's usually the last thing my victims hear.
And Optimus in this, he's crazy. I mean, he is nuts. He is talking to himself. He's not talking to the other Autobots. He's talking to himself. He says, what do you think? Shall he join you all in oblivion? What? Dispose of him? Hope he gets his wits back? Like, he's sitting there talking to him. Yeah, and it's
if you have a guy that's that split second that's willing to turn on a dime and blow you away, I would think that everybody's just afraid of him. If we talk out of turn, he might turn around and hit us. So it's like, yeah, of course he's gotten to the point where he's answering for his group, because if they answer wrong, they could just get shafted,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it shows both the fact that he's just that insane, but it also shows that he, really rules these guys in a way that even his own troops fear him. And I think in some ways, it actually puts the Megatron that we know and love to shame, to be honest. Because Crazy Prime, he is crazy.
Yep.
I'm more worried about
Prime's
this guy than Megatron ever was. Because with Megatron, yeah, he'll bump you off too, but he had some of his lieutenants really do respect him, like Soundwave, and some of the guys are a little bit lower. Maybe not Starscream, because Starscream's always taking power as much as he can, but at least that there are a few loyalists. Not sure what's going on with this world. It's shattered glass. All bets are off the table.
I think I think a lot of his core are loyal to him as far as Optimus goes, but I think the only one that he might actually tolerate maybe saying something to him would be Rodimus.
Probably. That would make sense.
So they dispose of Cliffjumper.
More than dispose. He kicks his remains and says, dump him in the rad zone. Now that in itself, I'm like, rad zone? That sounds great, right?
No.
See if the empties who live there finish him off. If he makes it back to us in one piece, then perhaps he will again be worthy to the Autobot symbol he wears.
I want to know what these empties are. I want to know who the empties are.
It's probably the people that haven't joined a side, because they even mention it in this comic that not everybody's joined up a side.
So like a nail?
Pretty much, yeah. So these two Decepticons find Cliffjumper. He comes back online, and
barely.
First, barely. Well, once they repair him, he
comes back online just long enough for them to say, "We're going to get him stabilized so we can move him." Then they put him into stasis lock so they can actually move him. I'm like going, dang, he's in such bad repair. If they move him, it could kill him. So they put him in stasis lock, and then he wakes up in the Decepticon stronghold, all fixed.
Yeah.
He's
Out of the
shiny,
way,
too.
cons.
I saw there's a little nurse bot in the background that reminds me of the More Than Meets the Eye bot that they have on the Lost Light. It's great.
So cool. Yeah, it's true.
I love the lines. Out of the way, cons. No Decepticon death camp can hold me. See you around, losers.
What I appreciate
Slam.
here is that the Constructicons, they're bots now. That's what I'm saying. I like how they're like the repair bay. I love
it. And we run into a Megatron that is red, white, and blue. Wow.
With glowy bits.
Yeah. Like, his wings are sparkly.
He's pretty.
He's a good guy.
He's a
looks-
vampire.
He's a
He looks
vampire.
good. Oh, don't you dare! That is you call yourself a fanboy? How dare you mention that?
Well, technically, he's like all pale looking. Of course, he could totally be a vampire.
He looks pretty.
Yeah.
A better version of vampires.
Yes.
He just needs fangs.
Well,
Wow.
Starscream's usually got the cat teeth. I guess like
So
The fact that he says, "Are you all right?" is just like, "Ugh."
you okay, little
Slap
buddy?
to the face.
And I love the what they do really well here is showing the size difference. Normally, sometimes in comics and toys, you don't really get a good deal of what the. I mean, okay, sure, toys you can stand them next to each other and you can see the size difference, but the size difference between Megatron and Sideswipe, oh my god, because.
Look at the difference between Cliffjumper and Megatron. I mean, when he hits him,
Yeah.
he just hits him right above the knee guard there.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. It could be right in the crotch.
That'd be an insult to injury.
That would be Starscream's crotch job.
Well, it makes sense to Starscream. He has a cockpit.
Oh, it's all your fault, Sarah. Oh my god. So Cliffjumper meets Megatron. Megatron and Sideswipe exchange pleasantries here, wondering, what's going on with him. Megatron says, "I think his time in the rad zone may have damaged his memory circuits. We should have Shockwave take a look at him." Oh, I so wanted to see Shattered Glass Shockwave.
Oh, that would have been brilliant. That would have been.
That would have been amazing.
Just to piggyback on what you said about like the size difference, the part of that reason comes from the fact that they actually have a pretty good professional that's actually doing the work. Don Figueroa is really good about making sure that some of those details were, and that's just something that you get from an artist that's willing to put the work in. Half the time, I would say that I'm not gonna bash on all, because I can't think of every single artist that's done every Botcon, but I know that if you're not going to get paid really well to do a Botcon comic, I can understand if they're like, I'm just going to do this as quick as possible, get paid, or get paid the amount I'm going to get paid, and then move on. It is what it is. So
absolutely. And the funny thing here is that like a Shattered Glass Shockwave, if Shockwave in our world is all about logic, Shattered Glass Shockwave would be all about illogical stuff. Okay, well, or emotions, yeah.
Maybe he's just
Swindle. So he'd be Swindle.
Oh, jeez.
No, because he'd be a good guy then. Wheeljack. He'd be more like Wheeljack.
Oh Lord. So we get Cliffjumper and Sideswipe, Cliffjumper says, "So you're not him. You look just like him, except for the colors. It's like seeing a ghost." Look, Sideswipe, or whoever you are, I'm tired of being shocked, confused, and generally angry here. Tell me what you're talking about, or so help me, I will beat it out of you. Oh, man. So
I love the fact that he just gets straight to it. It's like, dude, I'm completely confused. Either you tell me now, or I'm gonna beat you. It's an angry bot. No, just the cliff jumper. He is so awesome at this.
If only there were more Casey Kasem cliff jumper lines.
Yeah. I love the fact that he Sideswipe comes back with, "You even talk like him. It's great."
Yeah.
Before he tells him, "Hey, you know what? You're not him because I saw the real one die, so I know you're not him."
And they go to find out like how he is there, like
exposition.
So much. I'm fine with it. It's part of the story, and that's great.
I didn't really think they needed to go through and explain how the Autobots and the Decepticons are different. Just take everything that you know and flip it. That's all you needed to do. They didn't have to say, "Oh, this is the history lesson of how this universe happened." I think that was a little exposition heavy. I just don't think that they needed to do that because it's almost implied. Optimus Prime is going to be the opposite of Megatron. So anything that he started out with is going to be the flip of that. Mm-hmm. So, then they pretty much go through and say the whole thing over then. He was a guy named Optronics, an obsessive researcher, except instead of, working for the freedom of the species, he wanted to work for the opposite of that. So, it was almost implied. Did you really need to have all of that exposition and the story of how it happened?
I think for people that maybe, for those people that attended Botcon that were able to get a set at the con or something like that, for the everyday the everyday person that isn't a diehard like us, sure, you needed it. And honestly, without this exposition, we wouldn't have had this amazing small little panel down here of him in alt mode.
True. I just don't think they needed to, do 2 pages of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could have done 1 page.
It's not hard to figure out what Shattered Glass is, because Shattered Glass has been around in pop culture for quite a while. So if they don't go out of their way to explain it, I'm just going to assume the opposite of what happened.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to flip Megatron and Optimus Prime, and that's how it's going to happen, because that's how it usually happens in other things. Star Trek has done Shattered Glass to death. In fact, that's the reason why we call it Shattered Glass, is because they called it the other side of the mirror, and they've been calling it Shattered Glass since. So if you're not into science fiction and other sci-fi franchises, and you don't know what Shattered Glass means, then you're you need to inform yourself. Or you've been stuck in the mountains somewhere for the last 20 years. Or maybe you're from a different, one of those religious people that live out in the middle of nowhere. They have no technology around them. They live on a farm. I can't remember what the Amish people. Yes, maybe you're an Amish person that don't know anything about Shattered Glass, and I'm sorry. Please go out of your way to watch Star Trek.
They're not going to listen to this, Amy.
I know. I'm saying if they're doing that thing where they leave their people and they're like, "Oh, we're going back into the world where the real people are," and I'm like, I don't know. The whole point is, if you don't know, please inform yourself about Shattered Glass.
So we get the next page past the exposition. So you're telling me that Megatron's a good guy and Optimus Prime is a loonier than Straxus? Last week I'd have told you that you had a cracked cylinder, but I've seen some crazy things lately. Dimension hopping, time travel, alternate realities. What I wouldn't give for a simple war with good guys and bad guys.
Straxus insane? Straxus is insane. Where you come from? I always liked his poetry.
I like
so it's
that.
In here he's a poet like, Skybite.
Oh Lord.
Nice.
So we get to the part where Sideswipe tells him about that he was once one of Optimus Prime's elite, and apparently over time I saw that his philosophy was warped and his concern was more for himself than anyone else.
Or the fact that he got,
command.
hurt and they left him for dead. And that kind of bothered him.
Yeah.
So he switched because he basically got left for dead.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been left for dead, he might still actually be one of them,
Yep.
Yeah. I do love how they did the crossing out of the Autobot symbol.
Did the toy actually have it on there too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was awesome. So we get back to Iacon while I'm losing my voice. Holy crap.
Oh no!
Yeah, we get back to Iacon in the combat training room, and Optimus is activating Light Battle Program Zeta.
Yeah, he's bored while Blur is giving him a report, so he's got to beat things up while he's hearing the report, which I thought was hilarious. It's like, I don't care about your report. Just tell it to me while I'm beating things up.
Yep.
Oh, angry Optimus.
Yeah. And oh my god, I just got a TF Prime Megatron voice in my head. What of the rumors that Megatron and his Decepticons are preparing an offensive against us? Ha, let them come. If they are foolish enough to attack, we will crush them. Because I know Prime Megatron says that a couple of times in Transformers Prime. Oh man,
if he does, Cyclonus does.
Wait, Cyclonus wasn't in Prime.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking Prime. I was thinking the original, but it's okay.
Oh yeah.
No types where Galvatron said, "We'll crush them."
Yeah.
He's about as crazy as, you know?
Yeah, he is.
I still think G1 Galvatron's crazier. I mean, that guy was just a nut job. He had mini gears loose.
Yes, he did.
He was just full of lots of loose nuts and bolts.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to we get back to the Decepticon. Well, we see Goldbug and Blur with Optimus, and then we go back to Polyhex, the War Room, where Megatron and Starscream and all the other Decepticons.
This room really reminds me of the game, the Transformers War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, where you walk into one of the rooms and they've got this hollow thing up there. I think maybe it was Fall of Cybertron, I think, and the guy that was overseeing it was Perceptor. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that little room, and I wonder sometimes if they didn't look at all of the stuff, including the Botcon comics.
Possibly. Let's see.
Well, sad to say that, it's not official Transformers, but because Diamond does get a chance to publish this for the rest of the comic industry, you've got the Botcon, and then later on in the year, usually around November, December, we get the Botcon comic published by Diamond Shipping. Or it's published by FunPub, but it's through Diamond Shipping, so pretty much get it anywhere then at that point.
Yeah.
And on the Underbase, when they've reviewed it, they really kind of shoot them down pretty bad because, come on, it's supposed to be a fan-run comic by a fan company that, they might have the official Hasbro blessing to do the official convention, but this is the only comic that they do once a year, and it's supposed to stand up against other professional comics.
Yeah. That's true.
So you look at it and you go, okay, is this if this is your first comic that you're picking up Transformers wise, and you've not read anything else, and it is written. I mean, the two that we're reviewing today are probably one of the two strongest pieces that they've done, and they've done this for how many years? If you're picking up one of them randomly that just happens to not be these two, you could be getting any kind of story that could have any level of ability to tell a story.
See, that's one of the things when the Diamond thing came out, I'm like, I want the con set. I want, because I actually bought from somebody at the time. I actually bought the Botcon set off of somebody. And no, these are convention exclusive comics. Like I was saying, you can't, I would love for them to take this book and go further with it, like with IDW or with whoever, that has the license to do more stories in this universe. I would love for them to do that, but because they haven't, or they don't, or they won't, this is solely to this set. Same thing with the animated one.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get to let's see. Megatron says Optimus Prime has built a ship he calls the Ark. He intends to conquer other worlds and plunder their energy sources to fuel Cybertron and his own ambitions. He must be stopped, but his ship is heavily guarded and bristling with weapons. I fear the odds are not in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
By Primus, he can't be allowed to do that. Primus? Who is this Primus?
It's like,
I love how...
You don't know. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't know that.
I love how they, like we've been saying, that they basically flip everything on its head and reverse it. Instead of sparks, we have embers.
Yeah.
I loved that. I was like, wait, are they both going to have sparks, or how is that going to work?
Well, Cliffjumper calls it spark, but they call it ember, and I went,
Ember.
And I went, oh, that's what they're calling it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love the fact that, in this is the page we actually get to see Cyclonus.
Yeah, there's boyfriend bunny ears. Love him.
Yeah, he looks like a giant glass of orange juice.
It does.
I got
It's a giant strawberry.
I don't like him in the Rodimus colors.
No, it just kind of doesn't work for him.
Cyclone,
but,
is purple. It's purple. Beautiful purple.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I got my pedicure done in his color. Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on to the Ark.
Wait, before we get too far.
Go ahead.
So in the Optimus Prime version, he basically doubles or triples. What is it? I mean, it's something that he triples the amount of people that he wants on the Ark, and they find the fatal flaw. Yeah, they find the fatal flaw is not the Ark because it's going to be heavily guarded, but the platform. So they're going to, target the platform instead because, if they can target that and it brings down the Ark, then it will be unable to launch, and it'll kind of put a big wrench in their plans.
Yeah.
The thing I like about this page is both Starscream and Megatron look like big, shiny white knights. And that's just not what you expect from those two. Love this.
Yes. Yeah. And so we get to the Ark, and it looks strikingly familiar. Not that they weren't going to use the same design that they've always used, but I was hoping, I know this isn't because obviously Ravage is a Decepticon, but the bottom panel where the bot says Sector 7 clear, I was really hoping that would be Ravage. But it's Razorclaw, I believe.
Yep. It's one of the Terracons.
Yeah.
So.
And
pretty terror-ish, though. I mean, hey, they ripped this guy's head off. There's lots of gore. It's like,
gives new meaning
he's
to the
kind of looking a little Decepticon-ish, right?
Yeah.
But no.
He's doing it for the better.
It's
doing it for the good.
Greater cause, right? Take them out. Rawr. They're all dead.
That bottom panel where it shows his head, it's like, gives new meaning to the term bobblehead. So we have Starscream and Dive Bomb and one other one.
And we forgot another point. They use Cliffjumper's glass gas abilities to make these bombs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it makes him... He's not just a gimmick. He's actually there for a reason.
Yep. There you go. Starscream in this giant jet body with Dive Bomb, and we see that Blur and I love the silhouettes. The silhouettes on Dive Bomb and Starscream; those are awesome as the bombs are coming down. Very, very awesome. Let's see here. We get
one of them is called Whisper.
Whisper. Yep.
Is that really his name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I've never heard that. I don't know why it just has not hit the forehead or something, because that would almost be a My Little Pony. Sorry. Got to get my plug in every single time, right, Nicole? Fist bump.
Hey, I'm all for more ponies. Like I said, Botcon, what was it? last year, not this year. Last year had a really awesome cover with Pinkie Pie and Optimus.
Oh, they did it again this year. Yeah, they had
Oh,
Pony.
they did? Oh, yeah,
They had Pony
They did, yeah.
and Soundwave, and then what was the other
Soundwave.
one? Yeah. They had two of them, though. They had one with... Oh, I think the other one was Megatron and one of the other ones. I can't remember which one. Oh, shoot. They were exclusives to just the convention, and I picked up the Pony.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they had it just these two different ones, two different big posters. I picked up the Soundwave one and the Pony because I it's pretty awesome. I love it.
Kids they're doing DJ battles.
They're doing a music off, so it's like
That's so cool.
So we get to this battle scene.
Come on, we're talking ponies here. You can't stop it.
We're taking over your podcast.
No, you're not. So we get this battle scene. Megatron, obviously, Decepticons attack, and we see. And one of the things I like about going back and looking at this is because I really haven't read this thing since probably it came out. And I notice a lot more now than I did then, because I completely missed that there's Shattered Glass Soundwave right behind him.
All looking white and awesome.
Yep.
It's like he's like the Ultra Magnus version.
That's true. He's got that baby blue.
Yeah, very true.
So the blue bot, is that Rumble or is that Frenzy now?
Well, it'd have to be the other one that's left.
Yeah, it'd have to be Frenzy.
Yeah, so that would be Frenzy. So there you go, people. Either way, you were correct. Rumble has been both blue and red, and Frenzy has been both blue and red. So however you say it, you're correct.
And in Shattered Glass.
Technically, if you go by the cartoon, the G1 cartoon, Rumble is purple and Frenzy is black. But anyway, that argument is over.
Yeah, let's just...
Yes.
That argument will put us in a tailspin forever.
Yeah, really, it will. So Optimus says, "You cannot win, Megatron. Your plan has failed. Those explosions have damaged the platform, but it still stands. It isn't over yet, Prime."
They exploded the stuff on there, but you know what? It's glass, so you just need to shatter it now.
Yep. And Megatron's like, "It isn't over yet, Prime." How sad it is that you believe that. Oh my god. You're right, Amy. They basically took Optimus and Megatron and put Optimus's brain inside Megatron's body and Megatron's brain inside Optimus's body.
Exactly. It's just the one-liners between these two is just brilliant. It's like, yeah.
And oh my god, Grimlock.
Grimlock, destroy! Rawr! He doesn't say
anything,
anything, just after him as a T-Rex. It's like, yeah. Rampaging T-Rex. Watch out.
I love this middle panel. This middle panel is so awesome. Seekers, transform and roll out. 15 points for tapes, 25 points for the rest. Loser buys the fuel. Game on.
I love that. It's great.
I want to get Jed Nelson to say that. Oh my god. So we get Optimus versus Megatron. We get Grimlock versus Razor Claw, and Grimlock basically destroys him. And it's, again, the writing is so off Grimlock, stupid puny Decepticons. That is so something G1 Grimlock would say. Mm-hmm. So awesome. And again, the art is amazing. The colors, everything about it is so well done.
Just got the right guy doing it. Like I said, Don is always been the great guy. I mean, I think everything that even Don has done in the past, even though he's not working on it now, I think it still influences a lot of what we've got. I mean, he was the guy that came back on, when after Marvel ended and they had, Dreamwave. The style that he had, it's been the style that you've looked at, and it's evolved a little bit since then. But the big bulky Transformers, it has evolved a little bit since then. But I think I will always probably equate his line work as being the inspiration that basically changed the franchise, at least in the comics, forevermore.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's kind of good to see him back on this again and doing his thing.
I love this this two panel thing at the top with Cliff Jumper, where it's basically him looking both ways. Look both ways before you cross the street, ladies and gentlemen. He says, every time I turn around, one of my pals is shooting at me, and some Decepticon has my back. I'm likely to punch one of my own guys in the face out of habit. How can I fight everything and everyone I've ever known?
Which also puts him in crosshairs of Optimus Prime. Traitor! I gave you power beyond anything you ever had before, and this is how you repay me. Die, you worthless.
Yep.
And then we have the hero moment.
Yeah.
Where you don't expect it, but then guess who throws himself in the way? Very Optimus Prime. I mean Megatron. I mean Optimus Prime. I mean Megatron.
I don't know. It seems like, and this is just me trying to work my own warped transitions into this. It just seems like Megatron should have said, "Out of the way, Cliff Jumper."
Did you also notice that Prime's gun is shooting purple instead of red?
Yeah.
I noticed that the first time when he shot Cliff Jumper.
Yeah. I noticed. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought that was a good little touch.
That was was very, very awesome.
So if Cliff Jumper had any reason to doubt, I think at this point he probably doesn't, because Megatron kind of took a bad hit right there, which motivates him to do the next thing. Which, yay for Cliff Jumper!
And he shatters the glass. And the bottom panel on page 23 where Optimus says no, it looks just like right before the lights in his eyes go out, before he turns his head and turns. I swear to God, they mimicked the movie in this panel. With Optimus's face.
More than just that, it's the reflection of the arc falling down in his faceplate.
Yep.
And that is brilliant. I really, really liked that. That's a really good panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
So they win! Yay, Decepticons!
Retreat!
Yay! Finally!
Mission accomplished! Your argument is invalid!
Yes.
We have nothing left to say. We won!
Megatron says, stick it in neutral, Optimus. The day belongs to the Decepticons. You really think you should have honked him off even more?
I love those two lines. It's like, it's like, stick it in neutral.
I just love the look on Cliff's face here. He looks so happy, and I love it.
Yeah. And the final line, haha, my friend, this is only the beginning. A new age has begun, and we would be honored if you would join us in our cause. The fight is far from over. Primus helped me. I never thought I'd say this, but yeah, Megatron, you can count on me. Like I was saying the whole time.
Not the end.
Yeah,
those are promises that you have to keep. You don't just start it and then not.
Oh God, this is why I wish FunPub would do more stuff. Like, at least if you're gonna do something like this and leave it on a cliffhanger and not the end, at least allow IDW to take the designs and the characters. Oh man.
Well, the thing is, and I kind of see the reason why they wouldn't, is because this is, if they were to take that one, what would FunPub do? And then the other thing is that it kind of isn't sanctioned by Hasbro to begin with, and it's somebody else's toy box basically, and they're not going to go play with somebody else's toys, even if they're the ripped off version. The other thing is that I'm actually kind of, because I was thinking about this like earlier, like, why haven't they come back to this? And I think what really controls it, to be honest, is the fact that they get certain toys, like different molds that they use every year, and they're never the same. Every year it's something different. So, like, they would pretty much have to start with a different crew of people. They could go back to Shattered Glass. They would just have to use completely different characters. And, I guess it just depends on how much... and I say this reluctantly, how well they are at planning. Because in the past, we've had times where sometimes this last year, we only had a month's notice before we actually found out where we were having the convention at, right?
Right.
So it was like, you know, you can do a whole lot of stuff, but you got to be able to plan ahead.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, you are really limited. And it makes perfect sense that would absolutely have an effect on the comic, on their ability to write a good story, you know, what characters they're allowed to use. It's just like, okay, if you guys could be planning this a couple years in advance, then you probably would have a little bit more ability to do something really great. But being in the way that they're kind of locked themselves into this little box, trying to move around in it is really difficult.
Yeah. See, here's my thinking. I would love, and this is going to kind of transition us into the animated thing, but we'll do final thoughts on Shattered Glass before then. But what I would love for them to do is go back to the unmade Season 4, take that Shattered Glass episode, take the animated toys, and they already did Classics versus Shattered Glass, which was just, we all agree, is kind of lame and stupid. It wasn't executed well at all.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Shattered Glass animated Botcon set.
Oh, that would be perfect.
That would be amazing.
Well, we already know that everybody likes a lot of the animated toys, so I think that it would be doable. I guess it just depends on whether or not they could work that out with Hasbro and get those molds.
Yep. All right, so let's go around the room. Nicole, final thoughts on Shattered Glass comic.
Oh, it's a really fun comic. I enjoyed reading it again because it's been a while since I've read it. Again, this artwork is amazing. It's a lot of fun. And, of course, I'm excited because the Decepticons win for once. Woohoo!
Yeah.
No, again, like the one-liners. Like I said, I really don't see Rodimus being totally different. I don't know why. But I love the mustache. I love mustached Rodimus.
Always better with a mustache.
Yeah, there was only a couple panels that I don't like that head-on look of Grimlock. That kind of threw me out with the artwork. But that's like the only thing that I have against the artwork. And the colors, the details, it's wonderful. I like Heroic Megs. I really do. And I love Psychotic Prime. I love it. So, we just need more boyfriend bunny ears. That's all. That's it.
Oh.
You know.
Maybe the next Shattered Glass they'll use him.
I will say that they did stay true to his movie origin because he didn't say one thing in this comic.
No, he just stood back there looking heroic.
Yep.
Yes.
Just looking good.
What about you, Amy? Final thoughts on Shattered Glass?
I would definitely say it's worth a read. It's definitely worth a pickup. And you're right. I mean, all the things that we've already said. The idea of having a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, Rodimus, in the colors that they're in, they look really good. I wouldn't mind picking these up, and I didn't go that year. So it was before I was actually on the wagon. So it's really well done. It's really well the picture, the art, the line work is just great. The coloring is beautiful. The only thing, like I've said, is just that it gets a little word heavy in a few of the pages. Definitely those 2 exposition pages, which we've already discussed. But the snappy comebacks later on is just, it's really rocking it. It's just like, wow, this is probably one of the first Botcon comics that I've actually read that I've enjoyed, other than the other one that we're going to discuss next, because the art was really rocking it, and it seemed to really work. Yay, Benson Yee! I think this is one of the strongest pieces I've ever heard you write. And the sad thing is you haven't gone back to it, so it's like, ah, if we could just go back, pick up from Cliff Jumpers, leave, or even it's just like, a couple weeks later, the same universe, a different group of people had to go do something else. And, that would be kind of fun. But, they haven't gone back to it, unfortunately. The inconsistency is kind of to its detriment. But it is a fun little story, so I would pick it up.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get animated after this.
Woohoo!
2 Autobots are better than 1 Cyclonus!
Alright, we are back. This is the episode 85 portion of this podcast, and this is Transformers Timelines number 6, the Stunti-Con job.
And we have the same people here, right? We have the same crazy two women.
Of course.
I'm not crazy.
Of course. Sure you're not.
Yeah, right.
Now,
Hey,
bit of...
I am.
Oh, good.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You're just mental.
Everybody go back and listen to More Than Meets the Eye, Volume 5, Remain in Light, episode of the Pull Bag, and you'll see how crazy Nicole is.
Yes, she can totally
That
be
was
off her
you
rocker.
editing me as crazy.
I didn't know. Wait a second. Me edit? I don't edit anything. I just slap stuff together and put it out.
Hey, you had to say it, you know.
No, I do edit. I don't really censor people, though. So the Fun Pub cover here, the Botcon cover, is an homage to the Italian job, like Amy said. I love, and I didn't notice this till now, I love Wild Rider being in the Fun Pub logo with the megaphone. That's amazing. That's amazing. A little bit of background here. I guess it was... See, they announced this in what, January or February of 2011? Or they were about to announce, somewhere around there. It was like, it had to have been like anywhere between 1 and 3 a.m. Eastern time, so it was, it's 9 to 11 California time, I guess. Derek J. Wyatt posted on Twitter asking, anybody have a shot of G1 Motormaster, the back of his head? He's like, I really need to see what's back there. And I'm like, okay. So I went around. I'm like, is this what you're looking for? He's like, yep, thanks. And I'm like, so Motormaster is going to be part of Botcon? He's like, kinda.
Maybe.
So I kind of had a slight and small influence on helping Derek with the back of Motormaster's head.
Awesome.
That's
brilliant.
I
awesome.
love both of these covers. I love the Botcon one a little bit more because I'm a huge fan of the 2003 version of the Italian job. But why don't you guys talk about the diamond cover?
Okay, the diamond cover.
I was gonna say, what do you want us to say about it?
I don't know.
And basically, it's like split up into thirds, I guess. But 2/3 of the cover is Sideswipe with his good old bow and arrows there in the spotlight, and then you have the 5 other. The 5 cons lined up in a row onto the side, which is really cool because you can see the personality in each one of their faces just on the cover.
And that's what animated was really good at, is that the expressiveness of it was really, really well done.
So animated got animated. Another bad pun. I suck.
So for those of you who have watched Transformers Animated, which you can watch the entire series on DVD from
as of this year,
Yes, as of this year, the entire series.
Finally get season 3. Yay!
On one DVD set. This comic basically picks up at the very end of Endgame when Optimus returns with the Matrix on his chest. And
it's a brilliantly beautiful panel. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god! Yeah,
I want
great.
I want a poster of just that. just give me a poster of just that. I will buy it. Yeah. Let's see. Marcelo, please, poster right there.
So we've got Optimus, Megatron, Shockwave. I said Lockdown, Lugnut, Bulkhead, Bumblebee, and Ratchet.
Forgot Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget Sorry.
Oh yeah, she's
right by Lugnut.
Jet.
Don't underappreciate the females, please.
No, wait a second here. I didn't notice it at first, and they're all.
How can you miss her? She's on fire.
It's a jet burner.
Exactly. She's the brightest. The other bright things that are that bright are Shockwave's eye and Lugnut's eye.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? Looking at this, we need more Lugnut love. My gosh, We.
Are you
What
kidding
does
me?
he
General
think?
Techno gives us enough.
I know, but I'm talking about, in an official format. We need him like in the comics. Come on, Jimmy Roberts.
Oh, maybe he'll be in the
I know
new Robots in Disguise.
There you go.
Oh.
There you
What
go.
are these
Yeah.
James
Well,
Roberts?
they pulled Knockout into Windblade, so there you go.
True, they did. They were able to do that.
So you've got Optimus and all the bots here. Bumblebee, Jazz, and Ratchet are carrying Prowl's coffin there.
Oh, sad face, little tear.
Oh yeah.
And this is written by Marty Eisenberg, which is so great having him do this because animated was his thing.
Well, it was Marty Eisenberg, Derek J. White, and Matt Youngberg.
Right.
So we had 3 people that worked on it.
Right. And it is so good.
It's brilliant. Brilliantly done.
Very, very, very brilliant.
I know.
This is the difference between the amateurs and the professionals, just saying.
Yeah.
It's the best Botcon comic has ever been written, to be honest.
Of course.
Yeah, it
yes.
really, really is. And
you can't get any better than this. This is like the cream of the crop that you will ever get. And this is this almost explains the reason why we should have season 4 from them in comic form.
Oh, I know.
That would be awesome. Now, they did have the animated comic books. Did you read
but they
any
were
of
more
those?
like they were. I did get a couple of them. They are pretty much like
the show.
I'm talking about like original work from Mighty Eisenberg and Derek J. Wyatt. They could totally do a comic. They could totally do all of season 4 comic version, and I'm pretty sure that most everybody would. It would be a sellout.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be up for that. But people got to go back and read it because Professor Princess humiliated Starscream, and that was awesome. So cool. Yeah, Professor Princess took down Starscream, people. So that was the best part of those comics. I loved it. She put a pink wig on him and everything.
Oh, brilliant! I got to go back and I haven't read all of them. I just got a couple of them.
Oh,
yeah,
I love that. I was just like this little girl. Awesome.
So we get this opening monologue, and we don't know who it is by at first, and then we get to Sideswipe, and it is done by him. He is a senior investigator, Cybertron Defense Command.
It's basically from his point of view the whole time. He's telling the whole story, and I liked that.
Right.
And if you want to know how he got his partner, there's a little 2-page intro called Moving Violations that explains why Cheetor becomes his partner, which I thought was kind of, it helped out. It was like, oh, okay, now I know why he is where he is because he screwed around.
Right. The best thing about this opening page where we see Lugnut and Megatron Shockwave in jail, and we see Sideswipe at his computer here. He has a Crimzeek mug.
Yeah, I was going to say Crimzeek! Crimzeek!
What
awesome.
I like about the first page here, when you see Megatron and his goons in their cells, I just think it's funny because Megatron's in the middle, Lugnut and Shockwave are on each side. Of course, these two battle it out for who's Megatron's #1 fan.
And Starscream just eggs it on. He's like, "Oh, now he's Megatron's new favorite."
I just love that they're just surrounding him still, even in jail. I loved it.
Metroplex looks amazing.
Brilliant.
I don't think I've ever seen Metroplex look this good. So we get to we continue with Sideswipe's story here, and
I just realized there's an auto trooper right there.
Yep, there's an auto trooper right there.
Hey, so the box set that you got was the Stunted Job crew, Then you got an extra of the Iron Fist, and then there were like extra packs, or actually that was the exclusive, was the Iron Fist. If you bought the box set, then you got the Iron Fist character. And then they had the Auto Troopers that you could buy separately, and I think they came in a 3-pack.
Yep.
Then Sideswipe himself.
Do you remember at BotCon though? This was Derek J. Wyatt's thing, was the Auto Troopers.
Oh yeah. He wanted these Auto Troopers.
Did he come out with like 30 sets or something like that?
I don't know, but I thought it was insane how many sets that I heard he got.
Because some people started giving him stuff too, because they wanted to get this huge collection of Auto Troopers, and that's what he wanted, was this huge. I wonder how many he ended up with.
We should text him and find out. Let's look on Twitter. Let's see if he answers us before the end.
To the Twitter. Okay, you guys go do that, and I'll see if I'll see if he responds here.
So ask him how many Auto Troopers he got.
So we get more of Sideswipe's inner monologue, and we see his partner. And I had already seen the designs for this, and I already knew it was going to be because it was part of it wasn't part of BotCon. Transtech Animated Cheetor was a club exclusive that wasn't a part of the BotCon set. And I was like, yes, putting Cheetor in the blur mold. That is amazing. That is so friggin' cool. And I could, oh my god, like if we ever got these people back together again to do a script reading of this comic, they gotta get Ian James Corlett to voice Cheetor, because oh my god, I can hear Ian's voice coming out of Cheetor here.
For sure.
It's absolutely awesome. And again, the art, the backgrounds, everything about it is so well done. Let's see here. We get Sideswipe says, just my luck. I get settled with some gung-ho, wet behind the ears audio receptor transfer from Transtech Division. Calls himself Cheetor. Oh my god. And Cheetor basically transforms. This is what I love about comics when they do stuff like this, where they show you the one action, and then they show you in slow motion what they're doing. And then, keep your filthy servos off me, you flat whale. I know my rights. He tackled Rat Trap.
Was it Rat Trap or was it?
It's Rattle Trap.
Rattle Trap.
It's meant to be Rat Trap.
Yeah.
Oh man, so awesome. Oh man, let's see the writing. They basically want. They basically are going to play good bot, bad bot with Rat Trap. I
love it.
And Sideswipe is the bad bot. I'm trying to think if Michael could pull off. I mean, Michael Bell can pull off anything he does, but I keep hearing his Sideswipe voice in this.
It's brilliant how it's a completely different universe. He looks completely different from the G1 character, but yet you can hear Michael Bell's voice over it because he's just that awesome.
Yep, pretty much. So what are they looking for here? They're looking for.
Well, basically, what happens is that they find out that he's got this axe that happens to be.
Oh, that's right.
It's the axe that's supposed to be Optimus Prime's axe, and because he's like the hero that that defeated the Decepticons. Yeah, again. When they didn't even know they were a threat, and all of a sudden now they are again. And Optimus is the guy that defeated him. So he's got this axe, and he's like, "Where'd you get it? We want to know where's this from?" And so they go to talk to Optimus Prime to find out, "Hey, where's your axe?" And he has it. So they're like, "Okay, where did you get this axe from?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a duplicate." And he got it from this group of people who are running this little sideshow called Stunti-Con, or Stunt Job. So, and it happens to be that this little roadshow thing that they're doing is at the local K-On?
Yeah, K-On.
Yeah, K-On.
Yeah, K-On, and it's like a play that they're putting on for the people there.
Love it.
Wild Rider. Oh my god, Wild Rider is so Starscream. Who is this malfunction that dares to interrupt my rehearsal? All I can think of is, who dares interrupt my coronation? Oh my god, Wild. Oh my god. Yeah, we so needed this in animated. We so needed a special animated movie, like, to do this, because this would be amazing.
It would be brilliant.
Yeah.
I wish that they would do another animated something. Now that we've got season 3, come on, man. Make it a comic. Make it so. You can do it.
So, we get, and that image of Wild Rider at the bottom panel here, basically yelling through the microphone and seeing the vibrations against Cheetor, that is amazing art.
Oh, yeah.
That is really nice.
So we get, let's see, your rehearsal, the Motormaster can read his name on the top of the marquee. Can you, Wild Rider? And we get descriptions of all the Stunti-Cons here. Motormaster, Star, and Planet-Sized Ego.
Mm-hmm.
Dead End, Daredevil Stuntbot, and Morbid Robogoth.
And he's got a stash.
Yep.
Yes. Love him.
Dragstrip, Fembot, Acrobat with attitude. Yep.
She's drag strip. Come on, it's all in the name.
Breakdown: Stunt Boy, and Bad Luck Charm.
Walking Bad Luck Charm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild Rider, writer, director, pyrotechnics,
artiste. Yeah, artiste.
I want to be Wild Rider's friend. I want to work with explosives.
You would.
We'd have so much fun together.
I love all of these designs. Like, seeing the toys is one thing, and enjoying the toys is something completely different. But seeing them, I don't want to say animated because it's a comic book, but I mean it's the animated design, and I could so see this working as like I already said, like a direct-to-DVD animated movie, and just seeing the designs of the toys done in comic. Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Another
love
thing too that is good is that we get to see the characters from the show as well. I mean, we get to see Optimus and Sentinel, and Sentinel's wearing a whole new headgear.
Yeah.
This is just so that show.
Oh yeah,
It's just like even if we get new characters, it's so much that show. It has such a distinct voice already as it is, and having Marty and Derek to come back to write it was just like, you couldn't. It's like, this is like a gold mine right here. This is why this was the most popular year, is because it was just the best. They did everything right. They had all of their feet on the right foot, going in the right direction. All the boosters were firing in the right direction. It was a brilliant year. It was a brilliant year because of this.
I think it was successful because of Sentinel's shoulder pads.
Oh,
those things are amazing.
He's gonna take flight with those.
He took Starscream's shoulder pads and he made him his own, man.
I love this rehearsal they're doing. And Wild Rider's like, and action. Gasp, who will save me from the evil Decepticon fiends? Nowhere to run from the Motormaster, puny Autobot. Nowhere to hide, and no one to save you.
Wow.
And then we get...
I before we go on, I just love the three bottom panels where you can actually see them transforming.
Yes.
But come on, that's probably one of the most brilliant onomatopoeias right there.
Yep.
Love it.
That is so awesome. And Sideswipe says, for the spark of me, I couldn't figure out why Sentinel Magnus would let these clowns do their act in the shadow of Trypticon Prison. And then we get Bizarro. Oh, I'm sorry, Toxitron. Me am save you, Miss Fembot lady. Me am Toxitron, big hero Autobot guy.
It's like somebody channeling their inner Grimlock.
Yep. But
see
Grimlock is stuck on a planet with black.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
I actually think this guy is even more stupid, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't say that lightly because,
He's-
hey, next page
Oh.
he starts doing some really dumb things.
Yeah, I mean he is pretty much Bizarro. He is pretty much Bizarro, and I can so hear. I'm trying to remember who did the voice for Bizarro in Superman the Animated Series. I don't remember if it was Tim Daly or not. I'll have to look it up later. But I can so hear the Superman the Animated Series Bizarro voice in Toxitron, and if you think about it, they repainted Optimus's body twice. Once for Motormaster, but Motormaster obviously needs a different head. And then for this, for Toxitron. I love Toxitron.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice. I wasn't even paying attention to the difference. But you're right. Huh? It's not like it was like this incredibly, they look so incredibly different. Their characters are so incredibly different that it didn't even, and like I said, that's why this is so good. It's because they did a repaint, and I still was like, oh, cool. We've got two different ones, and they're the same thing. But yeah, I can't remember because Toxitron was also one of the ones that you got as well.
Toxitron and Sideswipe were another one of the
sets that you could get
the
extra.
sets.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think I picked up a Toxitron for somebody that I didn't get it for myself.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, he's not part of the box set. The box set was just the 5.
He was separate.
Yep.
Yeah, he
So
was
that was
separate.
the other exclusive that you got, is the Sideswipe and the Toxitron.
See, talking about
And-
box sets, I'll just go on a little bit of a tangent. I remember when they announced the box set, people were saying it's not going to work because you just have all one faction. You only have Decepticons. That's not going to sell. That's not going to do it. And booyah, it kicked butt.
It
Because
sold
you know
out,
why?
didn't it? Like,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the con was even over with, I thought they sold it out really quick.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know why? Because Decepticons rule, Autobots drool. There you
And
go.
the other thing is, even if the resale value on it, even today, people are still trying to get this set. So if you are out
Oh,
there
yeah.
and you have a set and you want to sell it, you could probably make your money back really
Oh, yeah.
easy. Everybody loves this set.
Yep. So we get to the next page here.
Even
We
the
see-
exclusive pin, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Even the
forgot about
exclusive
that.
pin goes for buco bucks. It's just a pin.
Love it.
Yeah. That am right. You am run from Toxitron, Decepticon coward guys.
Guys.
Well, it's certainly big, not big enough. I want to make sure Megatron's cell has a clear view of that image and his Sentinel's giant head projected
Yeah.
in the arena. Oh my god. It's so hilarious. And Toxitron I see why he's so stupid. He's basically leaking toxic waste
Yeah.
out of himself.
Mhm.
And no UM come back, or UM face wrath of Toxitron energy axe thingy, and he pulls out a plunger.
Love it.
Perfect.
Cut.
Perfect. He's Toxitron and he's got a toilet plunger. Ah, love it. Yeah, but we find out at this point that that's not what his prop is supposed to be, but he lost his axe, so that's when
Yes.
our
Come on.
hero and his sidekick, well, the cop people, our two coppers come in and say, yeah, well, that's because we found it, this axe. So
Yep.
Let me just say, Wild Rider, best face palm of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, we've got one in each issue.
Yep.
Yes, I know.
We've got
And I think
mustaches
Wild
and
Rider
face
pulls it off.
palms.
That's the name of this. That's the name of this edition.
what
Mustaches
is-
and face palms.
There you go.
That's so funny. So they go to arrest the bots, and we get to one of the auto troopers is telling them that dispatchers are putting a break in at Iron Fist's workshop, and they go investigate it, and we see Iron Fist basically knocked out, and there's sparks coming out of him.
Aw, poor Iron Fist doesn't get the love. So
That's
they
it.
actually had to release them because they couldn't find any records on the guys because they were running background checks on them as Autobots, and they had no background checks. So because of that, they had to, let them go because of that. So that's when they go to Iron Fist to find out. He ran to find out about this whole weapon thing, and that's when they find him trashed, and his whole place is trashed. And
Does this remind you of anything?
Does it remind me of anything?
Ultra Magnus and the Magnus Hammer.
Uh-huh.
It's a recreation of when Shockwave stole the Magnus Hammer.
Nice. Brilliant.
Did you get a good look at the punk bots who did this? Optimus Prime. That's not Optimus. That's Toxitron. Oh, man.
Stomping through your world as if there's nothing wrong.
Yep, pretty much. So we get we get this giant battle, and Cheetor's just firing at Toxitron, and Sideswipe is telling him to hold his fire. Wow, these panels are just so amazing. Just so amazing. We get.
I just like you got the old bot who's about ready to retire. The young bot who, thinks that he's unstoppable. He can't do anything wrong because, he's still young and fresh out of the academy. And Mr. Old Bot here, he's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
It's basically a play on Cup and Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice that it's different characters, though.
Yeah, it's good to see that, it could be done they could have totally used those characters, but yet they didn't. They used Sideswipe and Cheetor, and it really worked. And I'm kind of glad that they did that because it breaks the mold and the cliche of, we always have, Cup and Hot Rod. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they used two characters that I did not expect them to use actually just really worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love the line, interrogating this robo-clown was getting us nowhere. That is so something out of any cop procedural you'll ever watch.
Especially since they're like, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to give you, 1,000 stellar cycles. He's like, I'll take 20,000 stellar cycles. And you realize that you're supposed to bargain down, not up. And he says, okay, 30,000. I was like, dude, you're stupid.
This guy look at that panel. He looks so stoned.
Yes, he
hyped
does.
Up on his own toxic stuff.
Yes, he does. So they couldn't make the charges stick. They had to let him go. And we get to we get back to Sideswipe and Cheetor figure out that Sideswipe says something's not processing on the oil factory sensors here. Other than a few personal modifications, all that's gone missing here is a bunch of excavation and demolition equipment. Someone's planning a break-in or a break-out. So that's why the Stunti-Cons have their play here so close to Trypticon prison, because they're going to break it out.
They're going to break out the people that are in the prison.
Yep.
We don't want Megatron and his loons out.
Yep. Look at all these Autobots on this page. I mean, that is awesome.
See, they have Ironhide. Looks like Rodimus.
Yep.
Let's see, the two Jetfire and Jetstorm. A lot of them are the people that we've seen, Alpha Trion, Sentinel, Perceptor, Cliffjumper. I think that's Botanica up in the front, at the top, next to Cliffjumper. We've got RC, Ratchet, Bumblebee, Bulkhead, Jazz. Let's see, it's Huffer? No, it's not Huffer.
Yeah, it's Huffer.
Is it Huffer? It's the guy that says,
yeah.
If it ain't my lucky day. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Red Alert. I think Red Alert.
Yep, Red Alert.
On the other side of I don't know who the one is next to her though.
Oh, that's Wait, you mean where Rodimus is?
Yeah, same row of Rodimus except the last on the
That's
row.
not Rodimus, is it? Isn't that hot?
The one to the
Hot
the
spot?
one to the
Not hot
yeah
spot.
the one to her right. One,
Yeah, the
one to
one that's
our
going
right is
has
Hot
his fingers
Shot.
going out. Yeah,
That's
that's
Hot
Hot
Shot.
Shot.
that's
and,
Hot Shot. Okay,
and-
I wasn't
and-
sure.
And to the left is Rodimus, which I didn't notice this until now, and I'm glad I kind of noticed it now because I know Derek said that, oh, it's okay, the cosmic rust will wear off. It's nice to finally see that it did because I was so pissed after watching Transwarp Part 1. I'm like, really? Seriously? You give us less than 5 minutes with the character? Come on!
And then the bottom of the thing has just got a conglomeration of tons of different people.
it's
Is that Rosanna's
everybody.
in there? I mean, anybody.
Well, you got
that...
Minerva.
Minerva, yeah,
who
Minerva.
She was the Botcon exclusive.
Cosmos.
Yeah.
She was the customizing class
Yeah.
figure.
That you've got Cosmos. Let's see who else. Do they
There's
have
Flare
the
Up.
guys like the exclusive that's this year? The Bluster, and Trench. Is that the two guys that's behind this guy?
Oh,
Autobot?
that is.
Is it not
Oh
them?
my gosh, that is them.
Wow.
Yeah, Mario and
They
Luigi.
got some fun,
movies.
and I think a couple of the fembots are in here. I remember seeing in the Almanac, but I don't remember what their names are.
Well, there's the Flare Up. Flare Up is the one that.
Yeah.
And oh crap, I forgot her name.
It's good. It's a good. I mean, you got cameos from people that you don't see very often. Yeah, Trax is there too. Oh my gosh! Wow, good times.
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
And I don't call myself an Uber fan, but the fact that I was able to pick out quite a few of these that easy, this is why I love animated. It's just so well done.
There's Power Glide in the background there.
Good times.
So fun.
Yeah, it is just so fun, and this is one of those things where I didn't really, because usually when I read a comic for the first time, I'm more so paying attention to the story, not really paying attention to every character that's in the background. And looking back on this, it's like, oh man, wow, so awesome, because they managed to get in a lot of characters.
Oh yeah, it's very brilliant.
Yeah, so Sideswipe and Cheetor go down. Sideswipe, stop the performance! They're real Decepticons! And Drag Strip.
You got that right, kitty cat.
Kitty cat. Oh my
You got that
god.
right, kitty cat. Punch to the face.
Oh my god.
Schlink.
I love it.
Cut
So
him
many
off.
onomatopoeias. I love them.
Oh, he
So
cut
good.
off his. She cut off his weapon. Oh
Mhm.
no!
Go drag strip.
You get him, girl.
You've got Breakdown using his bow.
And it breaks.
Yeah.
He's the
Well-
accident-prone one. Remember?
Yes. He's very accident prone. And Sentinel is just all, he's
Clueless.
He's just so
Clueless
oblivious.
as
Yeah.
usual, which is his biggest flaw is the fact that he's completely clueless. Hey, they managed to work those two annoying defense bots into the act.
Yeah.
I
And
love
then
it.
Toxitron comes crashing and me M save you.
He has an obsession with am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He really likes that word for whatever reason.
But the coolest thing here is that it's
It's because of him that everybody's basically stopped.
well, no. Yeah, but the coolest thing about this Toxitron entrance is that it's the electric paint. It's not Toxitron, it's Optimus.
Yep. The look on Sentinel's face explains it all.
It's like, Optimus? Why is he messing with the show? And where's my hologram? He's wearing it. Sorry, dude.
Oh my god.
He stole your thunder again.
And I love Sideswipe's inner monologue. Optimus gave him a hologram, all right. One that blew the lid off the whole Decepticon prison bust-out plot.
Yeah, the part where Strika comes in and says,
Oh
Yeah.
my god. And they do this so well. I mean, you've got Striker, you've got Sideswipe versus Motormaster, and Sideswipe is basically using Optimus's axe in reverse. He's actually pointing it at his own head and using the thruster to move himself backwards into Motormaster. That's amazing.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the fact. Okay, okay. Sorry, I was gonna say, what was that part? I was like, oh yeah, that's the part where Motormaster tries to take one of the guys hostage, and yeah, he won't have it. He's like, I'm close to retirement. I ain't gonna put up with this crap. So, yep.
Yeah. And
Gets
he says, yeah, he says, listen up, kid. No bot, Autobot, or Decepticon is getting between me and my retirement. Oh my god. I can so hear him say, I am getting too old for this shit.
No.
I just picture
I'm getting too old for this slag.
Yeah.
I just picture him with like a fan zone voice myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This
could
is
see,
why I
could
hate
see
machines.
that. So we get to the last page, and that's where we see Striker and Spidor and Oil Slick and who's the other one? The bottom left. Who is that? Mind Wipe. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Jeez. Oh.
So we got Mind Wipe, Striker, Spidor, Oil Slick, and Blackout, I believe.
Is that Blackout?
Top right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not black.
I'm
I
not
assume
sure
it's.
who that is.
I assume it's Blackout. I don't know. I don't remember, but okay. So the whole play was obviously a ploy for the breakout.
Yeah.
They find out about the breakout. They go to stop it, and they stop it, and then
Just when you think you're getting cozy enough, you find out that your job's not done yet.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
those Decepticons that are still free are basically coming in, getting in on Sideswipe's cozy little, what Energon farm deal that he's got here. And he's like, "That's not a meteor shower," and here comes the cons.
Yep. Gotta
So
love
it's
it.
almost a setup for like round 2 if they decide to do it again.
And
Yes,
that's-
they need to.
These entire comics, both of these comics today, both have question marks. Like Shatterglass said, not the end, and this has the end with a question mark on it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They need to come back to these and start wrapping them up.
Yeah,
Not just
Really?
we're gonna leave this hanging here,
It's
hanging forever, and
it
hanging
is so-
some more.
it is so funny.
We're hanging around. Sorry.
I don't really look at because that's the beautiful thing about this is about these comics. You open the book and you have like a letter from. You have two letters. One from Greg Lombardo, who is the senior general marketing director for the Transformers brand team, and then you have one from Brian Savage, and then you get the entire story. And at the end, you have all these ads, and I'm not complaining about these ads. I just find it really, really funny that one of them uses one of the most famous lines from Transformers history to market themselves for past generation toys. Light your darkest hours. Save 10% with coupon code BotCon11. Overall, the Stunti-Con job is by far the best one we've ever gotten. These two together are really the best, honestly, but the Stunti-Con job gave us what Cartoon Network was not willing to give us, because like you said at the beginning of this podcast, Amy, we just now this year got season 3 on official DVD, and this was like everybody was left on a cliffhanger with the end of Endgame, and it's like, okay, so they returned heroes and Omega's back and Optimus has what looks like to be the Matrix, and everybody's going to go to jail, and they're going to, set Prowl off into the sunset or something or other. And then we get this, and it's like, oh, okay, so this picks up right where we left off. and then it takes us into a whole new story. All these characters are so well developed without even, like, in one comic they developed all 5 of the Stunti-Cons so well.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it look like it was easy, like this anybody can do this, but it's not. I mean, it's not. You're not able to not if you don't know what you're doing, you can try, but they just made it look like it was as easy as breathing. Just inhale, exhale. There you go.
Absolutely. All right, Nicole, final thoughts on the Stunti-Con job.
I miss animated.
This makes you want to pick it back up and watch the whole series again, doesn't it?
Well,
it's like,
I did not that long ago, and so
it's been a couple months since I've seen it. I almost want to jump in and watch it again.
I know, and reading this is just like, what could have been season 4? Cartoon Network. I mean, this was so brilliantly done, especially getting the original creators that came from the TV show onto a comic. I mean, there's your talent right there, going from writing for TV show and actually getting it down just as well for comic book reading. Brilliant, Give these people some more jobs and get us a animated comic book again. That'd be awesome. I want to see more Toxictron.
I freaking love, Toxictron is even though he's not an actual Stunti-Con, he is, one of the side sets, but he is purely the heart and soul of the Decepticons in this comic. He really is. And I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about this comic. I really want to see more with him, with this entire cast of characters.
Toxitron was the only one it was like a made character specifically for this story, right? Mm-hmm. So to put him into an actual, that would be great if they could just pull that character that was made for Botcon and pull it into whatever iteration of what they do next. That would be kind of cool to see that.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's the brilliance of the writers, because I mean, we got Lockdown in animated, we got Lugnut. I mean, those are 2 awesome characters, and Bulkhead. Now Bulkhead's like a staple,
Oh yeah, so much so that he got put into the next series, Transformers Prime.
So
Lockdown got put into the most recent movie.
Yeah, that too.
So that just shows you how awesome animated was.
Now, I meant to mention this when we were going through this. When they revealed what Motormaster's head was going to look like, and the fact that he has basically a goatee, the way he looks, it reminds me so much. And again, I'm going back to Superman the Animated Series. Reminds me so much of Lobo, voiced by Brad Garrett from Superman the Animated Series.
Yes.
And I went on the wiki here and I looked up Bizarro from that same series. It is Tim Daly who does both Bizarro and Superman, and I can so hear Tim Daly's Bizarro talk coming out of Toxitron. It's just so awesome.
Brilliant.
Amy, final thoughts?
Oh, final thoughts. Before I start, I gotta say I did get a message back from Derek J. White. He says, I actually have to go through them. I have a lot, though.
Yeah, I got that too.
Just think a mass amount of Auto Troopers. That's how many Derek J. White had. Enough to be able to, actually have the word Auto Trooper.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Brilliant. You know what? I can't really say anything more than what we haven't already said. I really, going back and reading this again, makes me want to pick up all of Transformers Animated and watch it all over again, which I did a couple of months ago, but I could really stand to do it again because, it's awesome. And anybody from any age can watch it. I always thought that they did a good job because when it first came out, I had little ones, and they both loved it. And when Transformers Prime came out, I had my little ones were a little bit older at that point, but my little one, my youngest, Recklet, still kind of got scared at some of the places in Transformers Prime, so it seemed a little bit old for him. It was a little too adult, or not too adult, but just it was a little bit more of that older kid vibe than the little kid vibe, but yet Transformers Animated just seems like it hits everybody from every age. The kids loved it. This was, like you guys said, this was the best Botcon comic that they ever made. Go figure. They had professionals working on it. Not that they didn't have professional art on the last one, but they obviously did not have a professional writer. But they did a good job. It's one of the best Botcon sets that is out there. It's one of my favorite years. It was the first year that I went. And I think that if they don't go back to Transformers Animated, they are just shooting themselves in the foot, because it's so incredibly brilliant. Everybody still loves it. I don't care if 10 years go by. I think Animated will always have a special place in most Transformers fans' hearts. So
Absolutely.
it's good, and I would highly recommend picking this up just because. And of course, pick up the Allspark Almanacs as well, because they are done by Jim Sorensen and Bill Forrester, and they are great. And these are two guys that have put the love into the fandom as well because of what they've done with that. So, and they continue to do so because they continue to put together like these almanac type books that have just a plethora of information that you didn't know you wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
But the Allspark Almanacs also kind of continue some of the things that didn't get put into the show, so you get to get the little extra tidbits and stuff like that. They'll have some of the characters that we saw on that one page where we name it out all the characters. They have all of those tech specs and stuff in there. So it's definitely... what can I not say about Animated that I'd say go buy it, buy this, buy the, box set if you can.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this giant-size episode of the Pull Bag. That's going to wrap it up for July. The last week of July here was the final crossover episode for now with the Pull Bag and the Underbase with Windblade number 4, and we have this episode. Coming up in August, I've got IDW's TMNT Volume 7 and Villains Micro Series Volume 2. We've got an Origins episode with Star Joe's Chuck. After Auto Assembly, Amy and I will be tackling the politics of Cybertron and Robots in Disguise Volumes 4 and 5.
Woo!
And then I'm not sure who I'm going to get to do this. It might be Amy or Nicole, or it might be somebody else. I don't know. The last week of August, we are doing an episode 86, Transformers Dark Cybertron. So August is pretty much Transformers Turtles month.
Good times.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, where can the good people interact with you online, Nicole?
I can be found on Twitter at BeatlesDiva. That's Beatles like the band, not the bug. One more time. Find me on Facebook under my name, if you know me, or BeatlesDiva or Hailstorm. Or if you want to find me on a Transformers forum, I'm Hailstorm, most likely. So.
And what about you, Amy?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyWreck. And that's mostly the best place to find me, other than over on the Underbase, because I do a lot of editing and transforming.
You run the show. just say it.
I run the show, yes. Even if I'm not on the podcast, I am in the background calling the shots, telling everybody, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, I keep the Underbase running smooth mostly. But yeah, that's me. You can find me online. I mostly hang out on Twitter. It's the easiest place to go.
Yep.
My crazy life, yeah. And it's gonna get crazier, as we said.
I was just gonna say that it's just gonna get crazier.
Yeah, it's gonna get so much more crazier. All right.
Yep.
You can find me TFG1Mike on Twitter. You can also this is kind of lame. My personal Facebook is I use the 1, so when I set up my fan page, I couldn't use the 1, so my fan page for Facebook is facebook.com/TFG2Mike.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, on Twitter, TFG1Mike. You can also follow at Geekcast Radio for all the other network updates, and I'm going slowly to lose my voice again. Yay.
That's not good.
Yeah, no. So make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com. where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCastRadio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.